Vinny,
Dave!
are you ready to conquer all of Europe?
Yes!
Why are we talking like this?
This music makes me talk like this!
Vinny, we've got other people here. We've got a full room.
Yes!
We've brought the whole army with us.
George! Ed McMahon is here! Yes, Bradley!
And we've also got Drew, because it's a weird one, so we like to bring Drew in on the weird ones.
Drew centers us.
All right, this is Crusader Kings 2, Paradox game, came out about last week. These are the guys that make Europa Universalis.
This might be the best game name ever.
They make map games. Basically a grand strategy game.
With grand music.
So we're just gonna jump in.
Whoa!
Matthew.
Wow! Whoa!
Where you were saying Sicily, you were Sicilian.
Yeah.
And my family's mostly Naples.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Napoli.
Napoli.
All right.
Okay.
Drew, where are you from? Somewhere German?
Yeah, somewhere.
Somewhere in the Holy
Just
Roman
here.
Empire.
That's right.
It's right
yeah.
in here somewhere.
Boom. That's sure.
Brad, they don't have South Carolina's not on here.
I think it's a little east.
Yeah. So this game,
Wow.
it's basically like a big board game almost.
Wow.
You can think of it as a highly, highly complex version of Risk. Being Crusader Kings, it's set mostly in the Middle Ages.
The Crusades.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
The game is broke up into tons and tons of little duchies.
Are you in the game now?
Yeah. Well, we're about to pick, but yes, it won't change much once we start playing.
This is the game, right?
Yeah.
This map view.
What are you toggling on?
These are the These are the different views of the map. So kings, here are religions.
Wow. Wow.
The game only allows you to play. Now you can play with mods to play as heathens and as the.
What's down
Muslims.
at the bottom there? Monophilus?
What?
Monophysite?
Yeah, we're gonna mispronounce almost every thing that comes up.
Okay.
This is Catholic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's cultures. Cultures, how they're sort of spread up, like Frankish, Saxon, Norman.
Italians. I like how Italian is still just Italian.
Yeah. Anyways, so we'll go back. The game starts, you can actually go through history. This is pretty fun. We can well, let me change to the independent realms. We'll cycle through history here. And you can sort of see how the world changes.
Oh, wow.
How far can you, what year are you starting and what are you going up to?
We start at 1066, which is sort of the Stamford Bridge. You have William the Conqueror starting the same year, going and conquering all of England. That's what we'll play.
The Magna Carta around that time.
I am not going to say yes to any facts that I do not know, because people love to point us out
the
in the
Industrial
comments.
Revolution was about this time? Right?
Yeah, no.
When industry revolted?
But yeah, it basically goes all the way to 1337.
What's Navarra? I
You
don't
can
know.
gamble there.
Is that where Alex is from?
But anyways, you start, we'll start the game again right from the beginning. You can pick any point of time to begin. Here's the fun part. You can pick as anybody to play. Do you want to play as a duke? Do you want to play as a king? You can sort of pick any of these guys.
Does it make you easy? Does it make the game easier or harder if you start as like a peasant?
So there's a difficulty here. You can't start as a peasant, but you can start as a king or a duke. So it's a lot harder.
Okay.
It's a lot harder to play the games depending upon where you're playing. For example, it's really hard to play as the Holy Roman Empire, where you're
HRE.
you play as a person in this game, not a country.
Okay.
So even if you're playing as a king,
Yes.
you are mostly giving away most of your land to your vassals and collecting taxes from them.
Okay.
So unlike a game like Civilization, where you're going and conquering each area,
Right.
most of the game a good portion of the game in the Paradox games, or at least in Crusader Kings 2, is based on just trying to keep your vassals happy.
All right.
So it's a feudal simulator.
Or futile.
But we'll get started here.
Just make sure you build their houses with bathrooms, and they should be okay.
And we will play as
take up space in Maine.
Yeah, we're going to play as William the Bastard, who becomes William the Conqueror.
Oh, wow. It's a lovely tale.
So historically, he comes and conquers all of England. So that's what we're going to try and do in this quick look.
Okay. Sounds easy enough.
You ready?
Sure.
Anything's easy with this music.
Yeah. It's grand.
All right. There he is. All right.
I think I love the names of the water, like the little blocked out pieces of ocean.
We're adapting history. All right.
Read
Disable
it.
all hints. We don't need them.
Aw.
I have spent a good portion of my weekend trying to figure out this game. The big things about the game are there are a bunch of currencies. So one currency is wealth.
Yeah.
The next one is prestige, how other people think of you.
Yeah.
There's piety. So piety allows you to, let's say I want to get rid of my wife.
Let's say you want to get rid of
I
your
want to
wife.
annul her.
Okay.
I could talk to the Pope. Say, yo, Pope,
What's up?
what's up down there? You're over here in the Vatican.
Yeah.
You're here. You're
Got
the
some
Pope.
sweet mutton chops.
You're
Yeah.
Alexander.
Thick glasses.
Yeah. And you're like, I don't want to be married to this lady anymore, and I say, pay me.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
pay me.
So we can talk to them. There's also your demesse, I believe is the correct pronunciation. This is your holdings. So your own personal holdings. This is the number, 9 is the number that I could overall have, 1 being the number that I actually have, and then it's sort of my actual holdings. So we have, as an independent realm, we just have a few of these areas right
And
around here.
what are you right now? You're a king?
I'm Duke William the Bastard. We are the Duke of Normandy. So this is us.
Yep.
This is our family tree.
All right.
So we were a bastard of Robert and Relvia.
The trees grow up.
Yeah. The fun part is basically the game works. You can only go to war in this game if you have a claim on like a certain area. In this case, we actually have a claim on England.
And this is the start of a new game. You do not load a save or anything like that?
No, this is the start of a new game. We are picking a sort of famous character in history.
Right.
This is probably...
Is it a scenario?
Yeah, well, there's no scenarios, but it's a good... Because the game plays through history in a fairly realistic fashion with AI on top of it, it kind of sets you up. Like, William the Bastard is about to storm into England right now.
Could you create a character?
No.
Okay, you have to play
Yes.
as it. Okay.
You do create characters in that if I were to
spawn.
start a separate character, like I played a game as the king of Galicia,
Yeah.
this guy has no children, and so when I started, he also has no wife. The first thing I had to do was find a wife, make children.
And then
I can name the child.
Awesome.
As long as he lives and my child doesn't die,
As
the
long as you have
game
an heir.
continues.
Right.
So you can play the game throughout, all through it. The funny part about playing this game, and you need to know at least a little bit about history. I didn't know that'd be a hard start. Portugal decides to become somewhat of a state and kind of revolted against me. This is my brother here, and my other brother owned this nation. Nobody was happy with me, and I died fairly quickly. But
What's the lose condition?
the lose condition is basically you die with no heirs.
You contract hemophilia.
Or you have none of your heirs inherit any land. So in the case of when I lost the kingdom of Galicia, I lost it to my brother. My brother
Jerk.
ended up becoming a king of both areas, but I was still duke of my 2 counties. So the game still continued.
What happens if you lose all your territories? Is it game over?
Yes, but you never will. As long as you have a claim, then you should be okay. So
So you're probably gonna have to read some of these
Sure.
mouse tips and stuff because I bet the text is super small for everybody.
the basics of the game are that you play as a character. So we were playing as Duke William the Bastard. He's got these skill points. They're on learning, it's intrigue, stewardship, his martial ability, his diplomacy.
And you didn't assign these. These are his attributes.
These were his starting attributes, but as a steward of a country, your statehood is based on my stats and half of my wife's stats.
What's your wife's name?
My wife's name is Duchess Mathilda of Normandy.
All right.
She is 34. I am 39.
Jeez, you're an old man.
You could, if you wanted to, you could click on this. It would open the Wikipedia
awesome.
page for the character.
Actual Wikipedia?
Yeah, and you can do that for almost everybody in the game. So most people have real Wikipedia pages. So this is a historical game.
All right.
All right.
And if you do that, you'll find that it's well documented among historians that William the Conqueror had 12 blacksmithing.
That's right. That's right. On his medieval baseball card.
So the basics of the game, you control that character. I've got my vassals underneath me.
Those vassals.
This green number is basically the score of how those people like me. So to boil down this game, I would say that you play as a character and you are trying to get other people to like you.
All right.
And that's it.
Okay, do it.
So the first thing we're going to do, we have this claim that we start with, which is a claim on the Kingdom of England.
How'd you get that claim? What is
I
your
would-
claim?
My claim is that I'm the bastard, and I've got
You're a
it.
bastard.
All right.
Yeah. What would you expect a bastard to do?
So-
That's a dick.
We've already declared war. We're just going to go ahead and invade England.
Where's like your military and stuff?
Our military is here. We have
That guy?
12,000 guys.
Oh.
We start with this. Most people just start with everybody dismissed, but you can see our makeup. These are our separate flanks of our unit, and we can disband them. They would go home. There's a price that you pay for keeping a standing army.
Sure.
So the first thing that we need to do is get those guys over to England.
Ooh, boy.
Right?
Yeah.
So we need to construct a fleet. So the first thing we're going to do is raise our personal fleet, which is from our personal holdings.
Okay.
There we go. 3.
That-
Not so many.
Those are your
right?
boats?
Because we only control one actual place.
All right.
We actually need to pull from the realm.
Oh.
So this is pulling from all of our vassals, right? And we're going to move these ships all
I
into
like
one
that.
spot.
Yeah, I like the little the drunken missile style arrows.
So that we get our group all in one spot.
So will they? Is this turn based? Will they move on their next turn?
It's not turn-based. It actually plays in real time. So you pause it. So right now we're paused, and then I'm just going to go ahead. I'll unpause, and it's at a certain speed. So I can increase that speed, and we can see the ships coming over, right?
All right.
So once they all get there, I'm going to pause it. Right?
Yeah.
So we've got all these guys together. We need to make a fleet. So we're going to merge all those units together. We can't actually put this entire fleet on here.
You mean the army?
Actually, can we? No Navy's president, which are large enough. So we actually need to split up this. So we need to create a new unit. We're going to move, well, let's just balance out our army here. We're just going to make 2 armies.
Are these unit types you're looking through, or are they just different locations?
Basically, these are all from my separate vassals,
Okay.
right? So I had to call my vassals and say, yo,
Load me dudes.
yeah, like we're going to war. You're friendly with me, right? Like, let's go do this thing.
Your bannermen.
We'll split it up almost perfectly. This should probably do it, right? So we've got 2 armies that are relatively about the same size, right? So they are now separated. We can select one of them. We're going to put them on the boat. Disembark our army, right? Now we want to move these guys to merry old England.
Then they're just going to let you come across?
Well, we're going to war. I mean, it's not necessarily that they're going to let us do it, but we're going to do it.
Was it even England then?
I don't know.
I don't know that it was.
So we are now going to move our army off the boat onto Kent. Right?
Yeah, look who's here! It's
Invading-
William. What up? Hey! How you doing, William? Long time no see. Still calling you the bastard, huh?
That's right. All right.
And then we own Kent.
They are now sieging Kent.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they at war? How do you know these things?
Yeah, don't you see the smoke?
See the smoke?
Oh, I thought he was just on fire.
I'll show you all that
Duh.
stuff, but mostly I want to get all these guys over first. The other thing that you can do is in your military tab. So basically, doing most of the game is pretty much all through menus. You've got, your laws, which are like your taxes. This is saying what the type of lineage that we have, so that when I die, only males can sort of inherit, succession laws. There's basically these rules of can women inherit? Can men inherit? When it splits up, if you've got a bunch of sons, does it split to all of them, or does it go to
The oldest.
just the oldest? So you actually have to be like fairly popular to change these laws. They need to be voted on by your vassals.
What?
It takes time to do all these
Voting.
things.
Kind
Yeah.
of medieval culture you live in.
There's a technology tree, but
Jeez Louise, Dave.
because this is the sort of Dark Ages, the emphasis isn't as much on technology as you'd have on something like Europa Universalis. In any case, another thing you can do is you can actually hire mercenaries. So to speed this up, I'm going to actually hire sort of a big unit. We'll hire.
Wait, can I pause you for a second?
Yeah.
Are those clouds or is the world on fire?
Looks like fog of war, right?
Yeah, like what's that?
It is your fog, so you
Okay.
can't necessarily see the units.
Okay, sorry.
That are there. So we can see, we're part of the French kingdom and stuff. And,
Gotcha. Okay, I thought maybe everybody was fighting everybody.
Right.
All right.
So we'll just hire Bertoldo, right?
But
the company of St. George.
How do you know how many troops you're going to need to take over, like Essex and stuff?
It's a good question.
Yeah. So how do you know how many mercenaries you'll need?
Well, we can look here and we see that there are 408 defenders, right? We're going to eventually take over that area with our 5,800, right?
Yeah, it sounds pretty easy.
It'll take a little bit of time, but then you have to actually attack each one of these.
Those castles or cities.
This is a temple. This is another temple. This is a city.
Okay.
The city of Sandwich.
That's a good place to stage
Yeah.
a battle.
So
That's
each
where the Earl of Sandwich hangs out.
yeah, each county has different structures on it, right? And we could have spent our time not invaded England, and we could have upgraded our own structures going in here and spending gold across those things. But we don't care about that. We just want to invade England.
Yeah. I was just wondering how you knew how many
Yeah.
mercenaries you're going to hire.
Because I played this before.
Okay.
I would say that's pretty accurate about this
Yeah.
entire game.
Dave,
the tutorials in it are horrible.
How painful was your weekend?
It was fun, but I will tell you that you don't learn this game by playing it. You learn this game by watching others play it.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm going to do is hire some mercs. We probably don't need to do this. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. We're bringing these guys back
The
home.
boats.
And as we unpause, you'll watch the battle sort of unfold here.
The trebuchet.
There's no actual fighting. You just have these units. You put them up like Risk style.
Even
They're
if you zoom all the
sieging.
way in, that's it? That's as close as
That's
you...
as close as you're going to get
Okay.
on it. So we're going to need to move this army. We're going to disembark them, putting them on, moving them across the channel, and continue.
I want to see that trebuchet. How close can you get to that thing?
We get pretty close. All right, so we're now going to disembark this army.
It's a little boat for that man.
Treachery! Ever the bane of a defending garrison, the word is out. Someone has made contact with the attackers. Only a few know for sure. The rest is speculation. The defenders of Dover are sure this move means their days are numbered. So this game this is how it presents like the random occurrences. It's basically a menu option that says something's happened. So defending troops get -10 morale. So that's good for us, right? Because we're
Yes.
the attackers.
What does it say what you're going to click on? A need is
A seed is planted.
A seed is planted, okay.
In any case, we're going to move our guys
Oh,
across.
you're going to battle on two fronts?
We're going to take over 2 counties at once because our army's big enough. We want to kind of get this war over quickly instead of just attacking. So we're now attacking Sussex and Kent at the same time. We're going to bring this guy back. I actually want to attack on 3 areas. Now, we've kind of caught the English king by surprise. So that's why we're not dealing with his army as such yet. We're just attacking his holdings, which have, sort of standing stuff. But you see this is actually moving down lower. Let me get this over.
Can I ask what might be a stupid question?
Yeah,
Why? Why are you attacking them?
because I have a claim on England.
Because history ordains it so.
Yeah.
But
That happened.
why can't you just be happy in your own kingdom?
Because I'm just a duke. I want to be a king.
Okay.
All right, so we can see.
Tower is what you're saying.
Now that we're here, we can see he's actually got some units moving around. Look how tiny they are.
they look pretty
Like,
big to me.
yeah.
I don't know. They're huge.
Now, you can, basically what you want to do, like I said, it costs money. Your money up here that we already spent a decent amount, you can see it's negative 25. So we're losing negative 25
To keep the army.
to keep the
war
armies going.
Right?
So you always need to sort of disband the things you don't need. We don't need this fleet anymore because we just moved our troops over.
Yeah.
I could disband them here, and it'll say, oh, you're going to disband them, but because we're not in a friendly port, only 20 of them will make it home.
Oh, don't do that.
Right, that's a bad idea. So instead, we're going to move them back to our home port, and then we'll disband them. Meanwhile, we're attacking in 3 separate states at the same time, and I'll speed up time a little bit once we actually disband this unit, right?
So Dave, when do these red states turn to blue?
As we take down each attacking side, you'll see that it will actually, let's speed up, you'll see it happen. Now we're moving a lot faster.
That meter's going down.
So wait, it's negative 25 per what if it's not turn-based?
It's negative 25 what?
Like when does it
Per
charge
month.
you? Okay.
So you can see it here, it's monthly balance,
Okay.
right?
How's the war going, Dave?
We can call in our allies if we wanted. So we could call in, this is our father-in-law, the Duke of Flanders. And we could say, hey, Duke of Flanders, you want to come help us? And he's saying, it'll tell you ahead of time kind of what you could do. This is basically how you interact with everybody in this game. So you can, I could arrange marriage. I could try and assassinate him.
Would it have been easier just to arrange a marriage in like Kent or something like that?
Some, but in the starting thing that we picked,
Yeah.
it's just kind of a pre-set up one that's
That
like,
war's gonna happen.
yeah, it's like, dude, this
Okay.
is gonna happen. You've got a
Alright.
claim over there. Most of the time you start with no claims on anywhere. We're just doing this one because it's a little bit more fun and kind of shows off the game a
This
little
is
bit.
kind of what I imagined a Game of Thrones game to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is a specific historical scenario.
Right. So you're just playing out history here. You kind of have
Correct.
been fated to attack.
So one of our children lacks a guardian. So we have a child, our daughter just turned 6. You can see she has no traits yet. She's gonna take the traits of the guardian that we give her. So we can go to diplomacy for that child and we can educate our child. We pick one of our vassals. And by picking them as a guardian for our child,
Yes.
the child will get the traits of the child. So, Constance here.
Well, the child gets the traits of the guardian.
Yes,
Right,
we could say we want to give her a high stewardship, right? We could train her ourselves, or why don't we pick Richard, the Count of Everu? Well, I'm sorry that I am Evrul. Yeah.
Sure.
And he'll like us more because we're asking him to educate our child, right? By doing that, our child is now going to be educated. There's these little markers up here are the things that are kind of happening that you need to,
Like alerts?
yeah, take care of. So right now, our vassals are like, dude, you've got the army out. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
They're
what
kind
are
of
you
pissed,
doing?
but they're okay. Everybody kind of likes us. We could press a du jour claim on this area if we wanted to, and take it as a sort of holding of our own. We need to pick an ambition ourselves. So we go here and go into our intrigue. Where is it? There's our intrigue. You get to decide all these things. So a big thing that you can do is pick an ambition. We want to see the Duchess, our wife dead. We want to become a paragon of virtue, basically.
I think those things might be mutually exclusive.
Or we become exalted among men. So
that sounds pretty good.
yeah, right?
Yeah. And those are conditions underneath it?
The condition is that we need to have a prestige of 1,000. Right now our prestige is 36.
Okay, well, let's get moving.
Yeah. We could also hold tournaments. We could invite nobles to court. We could present a debutante. We could hold a feast. These are all things that will, like I said, the majority of the game is built where you just want to keep your council and your vassals happy. One of the other things you can do is you've got a council. They each have different things. So a spy master, right? We can send him to study technology or build a spy network or uncover plots. So let's send our spy master to sort of the kingdom, the main kingdom of England, to see if he can figure anything out there. We will also send our this guy's fine. We need more troops, so we're going to set him up there. Our steward, we can set him to collect taxes, do all this kind of stuff. Seems like he's kind of busy. Improve diplomatic relations, fabricate claims, and sow dissent. We're at war right now, so we'd probably like to sow dissent. We're going to do that in their capital.
Can these guys die?
They totally can die. So each one of these guys have their own pages. They've got their own family trees. They have a relationship with us. They have their own titles. He has that county of Ivril or whatever.
He's the steward of your kid, right?
Yeah. Well, he's one of them. He has his own vassals. He has his own court.
Right.
He has his own allies.
Does he
they
have his
all
own,
have likes and not likes.
His own dragon?
I don't think he has his own dragon, not yet. In any case, let's speed this game up and see where we're going, right?
So as your empire expands, does it get harder to keep everybody happy with you?
Absolutely. The hardest part of the game, that's why it's harder playing the bigger nations to begin with, because you'll see as soon as we take over England, the hardest part will basically be like, okay, we now have all these British
Make us happy.
Vassals. Yeah, we have to make them happy and give the land back out. So we have our first victory.
Yay! Yay!
Second victory. You can see these are now dashed lines.
Is that like they're in disarray?
Exactly. So it's like
anarchy.
We don't hold them ourselves. We have to actually take down each separate city at a time. So we sit here and wait. And I've got it really sped up at the moment, which is why it's going so fast. So once they actually become double dash lines, we can move.
You can't cross those. You have to wait.
So now's when we're going to move. We'll take this guy, and we'll just start invading most of England, right? We need to slow time down a little bit so we can see all this stuff happening. All right, so he's actually finally got like a real army coming at us. We took him by surprise. He's here. He's got 3,200 guys, but pretty much every one of our armies should be able to take him. But he might be coming after Kent here, so instead of moving there, we're going to move here and see where he comes.
Do you get like fortification bonuses or anything like that if you're defending? You
do. So like each area you can look at, and sometimes they're on hills, right? So like we'll normally tell you like if they've got castles, for example.
Like you get a bonus for defending
if your technology has, if you've picked up a military advance like siege equipment or military fortifications or all that kind of stuff, and you can pick to focus yourself on, like, let's say siege equipment, and each month you're going to have a dice roll to actually pick these things up.
Oh wow.
It gets pretty hairy.
It seems pretty hairy.
You're part of the Catholic Church, but if you can get your score above the Pope's score, you could actually appoint an anti-pope.
Is that the historical term?
Yeah, well, kinda. It's like you set up like the Church of England, right? So like Henry VIII wanted to get rid of his wives, couldn't get an annulment. Sets up the Church of England himself. You need to basically, all these different things up here are currency. So that piety, that's a currency. You're going to spend that throughout the game on popes and all this kind of crap.
If the Pope and the anti-Pope ever come together and come in contact, and they both explode.
Yes. Yeah.
Turn it to jelly.
So let's play this out. Let's see what happens. So these guys are fighting. there's a battle that's going on there, but we're gonna bring him in as well because like fuck, why should we make this an even fight, right?
I like to think that this is historically accurate and they were just giant.
Yeah, that's what it's totally.
Giant titans of war.
3 giant warriors
Yeah.
that decided this thing.
So we won. We picked up this area. That's where we won. We're just gonna keep moving that merc around. You can see our war score here. This shows all the people that we're actually at war with. So right now it's at 23%. We want to get that up higher, and then we can actually talk to King Harold, and we would go up to him and offer peace. Right?
Oh.
Right now he won't enforce our demands, so there's no way. We gotta humble him a little bit. So,
release Ultraman.
So now these guys are fighting. You can see actually here what's happening is this is our army here at the top. We have 3 flanks. They're attacking. You can see the sides that they're attacking, and you'll see each individual one fall.
Did you lose an army?
No.
Where's the Kent guys?
We moved
they
our 2
combined?
armies together.
Okay.
So there's actually 2 separate armies here. The army of Count Robert and the army of Duke William II, which is us.
So does that mean nobody's defending Kent? If somebody were to walk into Kent, would they?
Right. They could totally send guys over because we haven't completely taken it yet. So we captured Bishop Harold of Lincoln, and he is now, as you can see, in
Incarcerated,
jail.
yep.
We could go and we could actually, if we wanted to, release him from jail. We could. We can't execute him at the moment because we need 20 piety to execute somebody. We only have 17 at the moment.
The church would get real mad.
Yes. So, like I said, there's currency for everything in this game.
I'm not sure how is it that being more pious somehow lets you execute people?
It's mostly you're spending piety, so it's
Okay.
like you're already
Oh
pious.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wasn't he the guy you captured? Was he a bishop? Did you say? Who is he?
We captured 3 different guys, so it's just their nobles.
Okay.
So it's
perfect.
like I said, it's not necessarily a country sim; it's a
Yeah.
character sim.
Right.
So by capturing these other dudes, we're then taking away his vassals and his
Right, right,
holdings, and we're upsetting his.
You're right,
stuff.
Drew. This is very Game of Thrones-ish.
Yeah, it's more strategic rather than tactical.
Using people as chess pieces.
So we're gonna pick our. Well, let's pick the other army that we had there.
How's your spy master?
Count
doing?
Robert. We're gonna send him back. He's doing fine. That stuff only happens kind of like once a year.
Oh.
Like you'll get like a menu and it'll say, "Oh, success! I was able to
And you have
sow
to leave him
dissent."
there the whole time?
Yeah. And you can still have all those map modes here, right? So you can see your terrain view, you can see your du jour kingdoms, your the separate duchies, right? So like each one of these duchies is controlled by a different duke within England. So we're kind of pissing off this guy at the moment. We're gonna get into the king here in a bit. All right, so speed it back up. These guys, wait, these guys are heading over. These guys are attacking, and these guys are attacking.
I saw a boat land. Oh,
Yeah?
Oh, there it is.
The English at the time are pretty dumb. They're also in a war, I believe, with Norway.
Oh, you're an opportunist.
Up.
Whoa.
So we've got some
Wow.
fights. They're all little tiny battles, though, right? They've only got 20 guys. Like that's why the menus are coming up so quick, because they're just trying to piss us off while this stuff's happening. English army, it's only got 99 guys. Like, what do we care? We're just sort of sieging these individual areas, waiting for these things to come down. So Kent, as you can see, was just taken. So we can finally move Kent over. We're going to go attack their capital.
And this is going to be a big fight?
Now you can see he's trying to take back this area. This guy of England, right?
Yeah.
So it's the army of Mayor Robert. He's got 51 guys. You actually need more than the defending army has. So like he can't do really anything here because there's 134 dudes that are there. So it says it's been abandoned. Like he can't actually do anything. He's just sitting there. Maybe showing it, but there's no way that he can actually take that land.
He's like waiting for backup or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's just sitting there. We don't really care too much.
Did you run out of resources while you sit there? Like, couldn't they lay siege and make you starve?
Yeah, everybody's doing that. I mean, we're losing, 24.
I mean, in a particular place, like, can he just wait? Like, at some point, will dudes abandon a castle because they're occupied for too long?
They'll stick around. I mean, they'll get pissed.
Okay.
So, the one of the guys we sent to jail, he's complaining
Oh, you don't say.
about his jail time. So we could put our diplomacy down and say, oh, fuck you, right? But we don't care. We'll just
You gonna let him out?
no, let him rot.
Oh,
We'll just let him sit there. Like, we don't need to be merciful. Like, we'll just let him sit there.
Put him in the stocks.
Yeah.
Give him the Iron Maiden.
Put his head on a pole.
So we've still got all this stuff going. We are just now starting to take. Oh, he's finally got a big enough army to try and take an area, right? So we gotta be like, this sucks. I'm gonna come over here and beat you up.
Man, that music just never lets up.
No.
Yeah.
Fight!
So there we go. He's got a tiny little dinky army. Sometimes they get enough where they can retreat off the field, but most of the time you will kill them outright.
Battle of Sandwich.
Yeah.
I have a battle with Sandwich every 12 o'clock.
Again, so we're just attacking these zones. Our war score is
There's
now
a lot going on here, Dave. There's a lot of people on the map.
Yeah, our war score is now. There's also just not us. Well, these are all English. These are all England. So basically what's happening is when you raise troops in this game, most of the time you don't just start with them the way that we did. You would actually raise them. So just to show it off, I'll show that we could raise, just like we raised that fleet. Well, we can't raise anybody at the moment. But you raise them from your separate counties.
Right.
So the reason they're starting off as 20, 68, 25, because he just raised all his armies.
And he's got to consolidate.
And he's got to consolidate them all into one spot to take us on. So it's actually pretty good. We don't have to worry about it too much because we have these huge armies. And I'd really recommend if you're playing the game for the first time, if this kind of interests you, I'd start it off as playing this way because you're gonna have fun at least figuring out the mechanics of like being in war. All right, paradoxically, a siege camp is a ripe target for the bandits. Attacking troops take 1% losses. Okay, so
I love that
Damn them all to hell.
Yeah, it doesn't say okay or anything. It just.
Yeah.
the harder part though is what happens when you sort of claim England, because then it gets into the real meat of the game where it's like, oh god damn it.
Are you ready to take the capital?
Deal with all these. We're doing it right now in here. This one battle's going on here, Siege of London. Meanwhile, he's bringing guys off ships and stuff trying to come in, but we don't really care. He's just moving around. Like, what's he gonna do?
So has your spy done anything yet?
He has not, but we actually haven't gone through much time. We're still a little less than a year. Oh crap, he's trying to attack us here. Well, we'll bring our merc troops over here in a second. Bring these guys down. Another, so he's moving off. Oh crap, now we need to move back. So we have partial control in these two areas. Oh, this guy.
Can you split that regiment and just...
We could. We totally could, Vinny. That's not a bit. Well, I don't think we can do it while we're at war.
divide and conquer, man?
But we'll send him down. This is just getting annoying.
You really want Winchester.
In any case, you can see our war score going up here. Eventually, we're going to get it high enough that we could probably claim right now a white piece. So a white piece is like, dude, no harm,
Perfect!
Capture another dude. We could offer a white piece and he'd say yes, right? So by doing that, we lose 100 prestige because we declared war on them.
Right,
and for us to offer like a peace, it's like, we're doing well enough in this war. We're just going to wait it out till we get close to 100 war score. and then we will have claim over all these separate areas. Now, what's going to happen when we actually claim all of England is we will personally control the areas that we have, that we've got with these solid borders, like us as William the Bastard. Everything else will like control it, but we won't necessarily own it.
Sure.
And once we own these things, we can give it out. So it's good for us to actually give out this stuff to our vassals. So we want it to win as far as possible. All right, I have decided to institute the limited crown authority law in the Kingdom of France. Your status as my de jure vassal entitles you to vote on the matter. So while this is going on, we're still a Duke of France, not of England.
Do you know what he's talking about? What is the limited crown affair?
So, the limited crown authority is basically, and we don't see it because we're not a king, but the limited crown authority is basically saying that there's not too much authority of the king. You can do what you want, but you dukes that are underneath me can't go to war with each other.
Oh.
So, like, if I was a duke, I don't, it's like I could still be under the king, but I want to fight,
Right.
I want to take
Duke
over
Eddie.
other duchies. We'll prove. We don't care because we're not going to be with him too much longer. These fights are going through. We're still taking over these zones. He's raising more guys, but it's not going to do too much, right? My prisoner is complaining. Let him rot.
All right, so just so I understand this, you're taking over more counties, and then that increases your war score down there in the bottom right.
Correct.
And then once that reaches 100%, he is the most likely to.
He will definitely. I mean, we probably, yeah. we more than likely don't need to get all the way up. So we've now taken. What is this? Surrey. All our Brit fans are gonna laugh at my horrible knowledge of British geography. But we're making our way over.
You're carving him up. You are dividing him and conquering him.
We have now taken over London, which is a big one.
Yep.
We're going to go over here to Bedford. Our mercenaries are taking over Oxford.
What's happening up north? Is that somebody else attacking them? Like, why are those striated up?
These are rebels. So within the game.
Oh wow.
So obviously, like if you were an English, vassal or something.
Yeah.
You think you'd be pissed that like your king is like losing a giant war and like making you call up armies all the time?
I don't know.
Probably be pretty pissed. So they were actually revolting against him.
That sucks for him.
Probably doesn't help the cause.
Will you eventually be able to control them?
Yeah, I mean we can
give them property.
Yeah, we can. Once
And
this
iPads.
happens, we'll end up taking over that area. We'll have our own things to worry about. God damn it, these guys keep just being a nuisance. Anyways, we'll move our army back down to Surrey, take them out.
Surrey.
Sorry.
Most of the time, the game is not this war focused. You're spending a lot more time like worrying about your actual vassals and things like that. But William the Bastard has extremely high stats, and he's sort of well liked by everybody. He starts off well liked. It's a really good starting character for people to kind of just get their feet wet with the game. Most of the time, you're going to be like, I need to trade lands with you to make sure, or I need to train your child, or some goofy stuff like that. Anyways, we'll send him back to Bedford. Our victories are continuing to go over.
So can you just like go and capture the king?
You can't capture the king. You may get lucky. He may die. Very soon, consumption or tuberculosis will spread through most of England. And in the game that I played before this, the William that I was playing in that game got consumption and luckily survived through it.
Oh, good.
My child, though, did not.
How did your child get...
The consumption?
What was that child up to?
Yeah. All right, my wife, Mathilda, has complained about me being absent so often, and so when I found that I had some extra gold to spend, I decided to buy her something nice, maybe some sort of jewelry. So you can decide.
I don't know, guys. What do you think? Girls like jewelry, right?
Yeah. So
You with me, fellas?
if we do this, she'll fall in love with us.
Isn't she your wife already?
Her opinion, yeah, she's our wife, but she's got, if we look at her, she's got her own opinion of us. Right now, it's okay. It's 18 in the green,
She's a
which
little
is like, it's all right.
looking.
But if we bought her this good stuff, right?
Yeah.
She falls in love with us.
What's her lands? What does she own? What's her lineage?
She has no claims or titles at the moment.
Dump
She
her.
has given us all these children, though.
Really?
Yeah. This here, Count Robert of Maine being down here, is our heir. So at the moment, he is 16. He is being tutelaged by the Marshal of Maine.
So as time passes, everybody gains a year, like actually gets older?
Oh crap. Time's been moving while we were talking. All right, so we now have this area. Time's been...
But like you're getting older too?
Everybody's...
So you only have a limited amount of time to conquer.
Yeah, I forgot. What did we say how old we were? We were like 41?
Yeah.
We're at 42.
Dude, you better get moving.
Yeah, so we're at a 78 here. We're going to take over one more area, I figure, and then let's make it quick. These are just rebel army. We may as well crush them. So rebels can kind of be attacked by anybody. In any case, our war score is now at 80, right? We can...
They give it up, man.
Look,
Yeah.
man, you got rebels.
Yeah.
up
He won't
north.
enforce our demands yet, so we're not going to do it.
How many? He doesn't have much more land.
Yeah. We're taking it all over.
When will the killing end?
Yeah, seriously. Let
Well,
the
you see
people
our war
free.
score moving up. It's, these are, that's a pretty big army.
That's a pretty big army. Ah.
I think the Norman conquest of England is really interesting because of the effect it had on language.
Tell us, Bradley.
Anybody? Anybody?
Anybody with me on this?
I mean, just there's
Oh, like French
a
fries?
huge, yeah, yes, exactly. No, I mean a huge percentage of English words are of French origin, like beef.
Beef.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's Norway.
And I
So
think-
Norway, they finally came into the battle.
Oh, man.
This is,
But they're fighting England.
they are fighting England, not us.
Their number's still red, though.
In any case, we're at 89.
Oh, you got defeated.
We did?
I don't know. It said defeat. It said a victory. At least I thought it did.
My beloved half-brother Odo is concerned that he is not still married.
Thinking it's that beard, man.
You want to arrange a marriage for Odo? How about this girl? Right? She wants to get married too. See, she's got the get married trait.
Where is she from?
She's 48 though, so he will not get any
No.
children from that. So
Odo.
it's a 0. Screw it. We're just kind of playing through. I'll find him someone nice. That's what we did. All right. We can go down here and take out this.
What's the big shield that's on Essex? What is that?
Actually,
Is that the
let's
capital?
combine. Let's combine these guys. The shield is on the capital, so the capital is London, which is
But you've taken it over already?
yeah,
Okay.
and our war score is moving up. So hopefully this battle should this war should be over.
What's
fairly
that other
soon.
one down there in the bottom right? Next to the war score.
This is Emir Ali of Merceria. My guess is that France or something went into war. So he's probably down there. It's my guess, though. I don't.
The wash.
So, is your king concerned at all that you're waging war against England?
Well, let's look. Let's see what he thinks of us, right? So Paris, King Philippe of France. He's just kind of okay with us. What eventually will happen, and what happened in my game, is once I took over all of England, I was able to reign, free reign, had a good, happy time. But remember, when I take over England, I still have my lands here, which is part of France. He didn't like that so much. So he declared war on me, and at that point it became a game that was a little bit too complicated for myself. Anyways, let's go through this, try and get our war score up.
What's your war score now?
89%.
Oh, you're so close.
Let's see if he will.
Meet your demands.
No.
He's a stickler.
Yeah.
91.
Well, what's he got left? He was king.
We are now at 100%. He will
retreat.
He will now accept our demands. Enforce demands.
Is that because you got the capital there?
We already had the capital. It's more that we got our war score up so high. Sometimes you don't need to get it to 100%, but once you get it to 100%, you're pretty much
jumped right up
guaranteed.
there.
Yeah. Well, I spread it up
territory.
really quick. So when we enforce these demands, it'll show you what happens. We are going to gain 400 prestige, which is a shit ton.
Yeah.
We want to become exalted, which is 1,000. We will also stop being known as William the Bastard and be known as William the Conqueror.
Nice.
And we will gain all of the Kingdom of England.
All right.
Right?
Sure. Hooray!
That's it.
Wow.
All right. We have now usurped the title of Kingdom of England from Duke Harold I of Bedford.
What happened to him?
Norman conquest has ended. We gain 400. We're now known as the Conqueror. Bastard is the new liege. Now, this is where the game gets hard.
So now your places are all red?
So yeah. So see how we own these 4 duchies here. We also personally own these individual ones down here as well, right? See, that's us. All the ones that we took over in the war, we personally run. The bad part is we can only have 8.
That's like as much as your prestige or whatever.
As much as
allows
we
you?
can personally own. You want to personally own all the good ones because then when you need to pull troops and stuff and make money, you want to make money from the best spots.
Right.
But you can't control too much, otherwise your vassals get all pissy.
Gotcha.
So what you would then go do in this part of the game, and this would probably take us 30 minutes or so, is you would go through each one of the areas, or you'd go through your vassals, where's all our vassals? We now have a court of 32, we have 10 vassals. Everybody hates us.
Why?
Well,
all the in the world or in Kent?
all of our, no, even our guys in France. As soon as we won, everybody immediately hated us because right off the bat, we have 2 large holdings. And they're
just jealous. They just hate our freedom.
So if you look at the numbers here, I know it's kind of hard to read. You can look, it says that your democé, or I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce these things, is -260. So that's the main reason that everybody hates us. So the first thing we'd need to do is be like, all right, you're a good guy. I'm going to grant you a landed title. I'm going to grant you the county of Gloucester. I'm going to give you the county of Bedford. I'm going to give you the barony of Tottenham. So the baronies are, I believe, the cities and stuff in between. Bishops, like, hey, I'm giving you access over the temple and all that kind of fun stuff.
All right, give him one.
I don't want to go through all this part of it. This is where the game starts getting more managey. We could give him the city of London, right?
Wow.
We could give him...
That's a kingly gift.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that you have to look through, but I'll just, to make it kind of easy so you can see what's happening, let's give this guy, let's give him...
Give him Surrey.
Where do you see Surrey?
Swear allegiance to Duke Edwin.
Who's using...
What you mean by swear allegiance to Duke Edwin.
Nice. Very nice.
Sorry. Trying to help you out, Dave.
Let's say we gave him the county of Oxford, right, up here. We could also give him all the lower titles, right? That's going to give him 100. towards liking
Now
us.
he's gonna be psyched.
Yeah, the lower titles are basically saying like, not only does he get Oxford here, he gets all the individual cities underneath it, right? This guy now, crap.
I feel like this is unfair to you, Dave.
What?
I feel like in
Yeah, I went
reality,
and took over all that.
no. In reality, you would have a staff of people to help you make all these decisions and assign people, and here you are all alone, going through all these lists. I feel like this needs to be a multiplayer game just to have people help you do this stuff. Like, hey, the barons are unhappy, you go administrate that, I'm gonna go wage war.
Yeah, there's no Civ like pop-up.
Every loneliness is a pinnacle, my friend. Every loneliness is a pinnacle.
You can't just assign authority to somebody to be like, make people happy, chancellor or whatever.
You basically have to keep all those people happy. So it's like we suddenly made that guy barely happy for us, but everybody's still unhappy. So I'll just to show it off, and this is not, I'm not looking at what I'm giving people,
Yeah.
right?
There's no
Say we
auto
gave them
distribute.
Normandy,
You can't just
which-
be like, do it automatically.
Not that I've seen, right? So suddenly we're giving these people all this kind of stuff. We're going through our vassals. They're slowly hating us less and less, right?
Well, you're just paying them off, right?
Let's give our son, right, who's going to be he's our heir to our throne. We're going to give him Surrey, Essex, and Kent, right? We can give him each one, right?
How come they sharpen knives?
So he's going to love us, right? We now are down to 22. So we started at what, like 30 something? We got to get all the way down to 8. You have to figure out who you want. In here are now also a shitload of vassals. Also in our intrigue, we have 3 prisoners. What do we want to do with them?
Execute!
This guy somehow still likes us. So we can go in here and we're going to say, release from prison, right? He likes us.
Yay!
We could release him, and we're going to give him a landed title.
Sure,
we're going to
that's-
give him Bedford, right?
Is that quite prudent, my lord?
Right. Meanwhile, there's all these little things that are happening. There's a whole list of sort of notices that are happening. We release somebody. We've given these titles. We now have a new nickname. You can see our nicknames here.
What's your new nickname?
The Conqueror.
Oh, okay.
Our prestige is up higher. We then spend most of our time trying to get our prestige up. Our piety is actually pretty high now too.
How's your healthcare system?
It's horrible.
Terrible?
Yeah, he will.
A lot of saws.
How long will this guy live? That's the crazy part.
Beaches.
That's the randomness. That's where history doesn't play out sort of the way that it's supposed to.
Can you raise or lower taxes? There must be
Yeah.
something in there. Okay.
So you go into your laws, and remember I said we weren't king yet?
yeah, but now you're
What was
king.
limited, we could set up, limited crown authority. We have it set at medium. Nobility and monarch are precarious balance. They can't have private wars. If we did this, they could. If we had it as men, they could. It's basically lawless.
Free for all.
Yeah, it's like, dude, pay me your taxes. You do the same thing with the church, because the church operates different. They don't pay their taxes to me. They pay their taxes to the Pope.
And who does the Pope pay tax to? God.
Yeah, that's right. You got it.
A higher
You went
authority.
to Catholic school. You know what's up. So meanwhile, all this other stuff. There's been war down here. It looks like,
La Mancha.
yeah, the Sheik. These guys have been fighting a war with
Don Quixote.
somebody else. We can't tell who with because we don't have anybody over there.
So-
Meanwhile, as we started as England, look who we have a war with.
Can't see.
It's the
Norway.
King of Norway.
Norway.
So we inherited their war by
Oh.
taking over England. So right now there's going to be like Norman troops. Or,
Can you talk to him, see what's up? Why he wants to be at war with you?
we can say, hey, King Harold the Wise,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Do you want a white peace? He'll say no. We could surrender, and
No.
he'd still say no because
Do you know what he wants?
he wants
You.
us to. I think we may have declared war on him. Let's see. Well, it's one way to you can actually change your view. Here are diplomatic relations, right? So this is us. These are all our friendly territories. These are the people we're at war with, and these are people that are maybe a little sketchy of us, right? As the game progresses and gets a lot more complicated, if you can believe it,
How far east can you go?
that's what I was gonna say. Like the Pope will actually ask you to go on holy wars.
Oh wow,
So-
like Crusades basically.
Yeah, and so when you do that, you'll get a holy order, or you can actually bring up troops. It won't cost you your normal stuff. It won't cost you money. You can just do it by saying like, dude, we're going crusade time.
And that's a big piety prestige bonus.
Yeah, exactly. And so those ones will be like, he may call on a bunch of different nations to go on the war, but if you, let's say you were just a duke and you got called and you went and did it, and you were the guy that took over the main area he asked you to take over,
Yeah.
you'd get all the glory.
So how far east does the map actually go? Does it all go all the way to like Japan?
It goes into most
Okay.
of, so sort of Russia, and
Yeah.
we'll go back to the independent realms. Well, let's go to
Kumans.
Yeah, these, not these duchies, but
Okay. So in your playing this, how realistic this is seems to be, at least from what we've seen, very complicated.
yeah. See, like for example, if I did not know that right now at the end of the war I need to be doing this, disbanding my units.
Yeah, you'd be
Like-
getting charged.
Yeah, we'd be getting charged
Well, you're
tons of
still
money.
at war with
Yeah,
Norway,
but he's
right?
not around, and it, like if. Oh wait, was that? That crap. Yeah, I mean that guy's basically running rampant on us, right? And he owns these areas, and we need to take him back. So we probably shouldn't have put our troops there. Right? So we'd end up going back in here
And raising another
We'd
army.
raise them all, and so these are gonna raise them from ours, and then we're gonna raise our realm ones, and you know, so.
So is it likely that you'd ever conquer the whole world in some fantastic kind of way?
No,
Okay.
because the first thing that you watch a lot of different gameplays. Like if I did this poorly, the first thing that's going to happen, if I didn't make these guys happy with us, like let's watch the game play out, right? I'm not going to touch anything.
You just spend it all up.
I've got too many holdings. I got vassals just sitting around. Let's move these guys together. They're going to fight that guy or something, right?
Yeah.
And we're just going to speed it up. Civil war will immediately happen.
Okay.
Like they'll get pissed off at us. Like all our vassals hate us.
So is there a win condition?
No, the
You just
game's
play.
just what
Game
you make.
never ends.
The game ends at 1337. Our enemy has died. War is ended. Isn't that great? Got lucky.
Right,
you
you
just got
just- you just
fucking lucky.
outlasted
Yeah.
them.
So it's really fun in that it's one of those games that kind of never, ends. So
This is the game.
We
that
return them all.
doesn't end. So go attack Norway.
oh my god.
My liege.
Make a good guardian. It's all this kind of stuff. All our vassals still kind of hate us. Or they may not hate us as much since we're so well liked. But yeah, they hate us. So like by not doing this, eventually what's going to happen is these guys are going to revolt against us. See? So Surrey
Oh yeah.
just declared independence. And I think we even gave this guy the title, right? Because he's pissed off. So this is why this game is
squash him.
is a lot more fun than something like Civ to me, because Civ, once you get to a certain, and by Civ I mean civilization, because once you get to a certain like strength,
Yeah.
you can just dominate.
roll over the
yeah,
map,
you
yeah.
you go through, and then it just becomes like that game becomes boring.
Well, once you get gunpowder, it's
Yeah,
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where this game becomes a lot more fun is because you're just trying to keep people happy. So it's like, it's hard enough just keeping all these separate states with all
Yeah.
these vassals and all these
It
children.
seems like a lot of work.
yeah.
It's
But
like
it's-
stressful.
It is, but most of the time you're not moving that fast and you're not trying to show off the game quickly. And I apologize, I'm sure that there's gonna be tons of people in the comments that are gonna be like, well, you didn't show off this right. We just touched like a very basic part of the game. We did not use really any of our council to any real way. You would really normally move those guys around quite a bit. We try to form plots against other countries. Like the first thing we do, like let's say we wanted to take on somebody, we'd set our chancellor and we'd say, fabricate claims. Like let's say we wanted to take, I believe this is Gwent. We'd set him up there, if we're lucky in a year or two, he will fabricate a claim so that we can
I'm
go,
the son of whatever.
exactly. And
I
then we
deserve
can,
the throne.
Yeah, and then we can go to war with them. But until then, this is what we're dealing with.
In any of the videos you've seen of people play, have they taken over the majority of the map?
The game came out last week, and I've mostly just been watching like starters.
Okay.
Kind of like this. Like I watched a lot of series that were like this, that sort of give you the basics of the game so that you understand kind of what you're doing. Because I mean, the first time I started, I was like, all right, how do I get ships?
Right.
Like you don't know that you go to your military, you pick fleets, and that you're always calling these things up from these separate states. So it's like we'd still call our fleet up, right? Now we have a much bigger fleet because they're everywhere. But see how they all came from each county? Like they're all over the fucking place.
Right.
You got to
Well,
consolidate them.
It seems to me the biggest difference between, well, not the biggest, one of the big differences between this and Civ, like you said earlier on, is that you don't have nations. So it's not like you're just conquering George Washington and then he's done.
Yeah.
Because once you take over a place, you still have all these people that can rebel
Yeah.
on you at any time. So you're never done conquering because people can just change their mind. So the
Yeah.
game never ends.
And you know who is a vassal of us? Harold.
Okay.
You know, the king that we just disposed. Like, we have to deal with that guy now.
Kill him. Put his head on a pike and
yeah.
send it to Surrey.
Well, that's what you could do, right? You could send this guy and say, oh, I'm going to send him in prison, right? We have a 64 chance of success.
It's a different guy, right?
Is that Harold?
That's not.
Yeah, different guy. But
Oh.
we could send these guys, and a 64 chance is bad. Like, what happens if that doesn't happen? He would
happens?
revolt against us, all that type of shit.
But can you threaten Surrey and be like, dude, you really are gonna rebel? You're surrounded by
what
my
we
troops.
do is like in the
Iron
game that
Fist.
the game that I played previously, I had a real problem with the Duke of Bedford. And the Duke of Bedford, even though I took everybody and everybody was happy, I got them all like close to 100 on me. The Duke of Bedford was like an asshole. I made him like my chancellor, all this type of stuff, and I knew the guy was a bad guy. Like, you know, you'd hear rumors. Like they'll say, we hear a rumor. So basically what that's telling you is like, well, I better put my spy master and, you know, uncover plots, right?
Yeah.
And I put I'd take my spy master and I'd put him here and I'd uncover plots, in Bedford, right?
Yeah.
And then it would say, hey, we know that this guy's trying to assassinate your kid.
Oh, geez.
What do you want to do? But the good thing about that is once you've uncovered a plot, when you put them in prison, it becomes not like a 66% chance, it becomes like a 90%
Because
chance.
they've been exposed.
You have a righteous reason to put that person in jail. So the funny parts of the game are like when our dude, William the Conqueror, is going to get old. His son, who is probably now 16, right? His stats are kind of okay, but they're not going to be as good as his dad. If we liked one of his siblings better, there's only two ways that we could make sure that we play as that other character next. Like after William dies, we have to play as one of these children.
You can change the law, right?
We could change the law, which takes years. Or
Kill the kid.
we could kill the kid or try to
Send
get
him off on a
plot or-
crusade.
Yeah. We could do tons of things. He may just die on his own, and we're screwed because then we're with his sister that we could put under the bishop. You know.
And she's friendly with the
Yeah.
bishop.
So
Man,
the way that the game ends basically is when you die, when all of you
have no
lose
more
everything.
heirs,
You have
yeah.
no more heirs. You have no more land. They give you a total score, which is this score. It's basically based on the total of each one of your characters when they die, their prestige and their piety. So right now, William the Conqueror scores, we have it. He has a prestige of 520 and a piety of 358. His score would be, let's say he died right now, we'd suddenly get a score of 850 something, right?
and that's it.
That'd be it for now. We then start playing as his kid. If his kid lives and dies, we add that guy's score to our total score, and then we play as his kid. And hopefully that over time, you still have all this land and all this kind of stuff.
Until 1390, whatever.
13, I think 37. So the time that we played this game, we played from 1066. We played 4 years of this game.
Wow.
And we didn't even really, because we played the last 2 years on like super speed.
Wow, you took over England in like 2 years?
I'm good.
Man, you are good.
Yeah, we're doing.
How'd you do it?
But this is Crusader King Studio.
David
I'm
the-
excited I got to show this off because I've never understood these games.
David the Conqueror.
They look
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Snyderland.
I kind of understand them a little bit, but I still think I would not recommend this game to anybody but like people that like maybe board gamers, you know, like board gamers and people that like micromanagement stuff. Like maybe you're an RTS guy that just can really micromanage stuff well.
Dave, I'm confident that after watching this video, 100% of people will be able to decide if this game is for them.
Good.
So in that sense, you've done a noble service.
Is there any kind of multiplayer stuff?
There is. You can play 32-person multiplayer.
Oh my god.
And
Can you jump in a game? Is anybody playing?
from what I've seen of the game, they are madness. They look like absolute madness because I believe it, and I don't know this for sure, so don't, you know, you're going to want to look it up, but I think it all plays kind of in real time.
TNT!
Exactly. I think it would be really fun to just sit there
TNT.
and not actually play, but
Bring
be like an
slippers and a
observer.
blanket, and then we'll do commentary.
Yeah, but you get to sit there and you'd say like, "Oh, this guy's revolting against this guy. Like,
we make
look
hot
what's
chocolate?
happening."
Yeah, we'll just have a little, you know, we'll play Risk.
Yeah, but might be fun. I don't know.
You're crazy.
But as you can see, there's tons of things we probably should have been doing. Our vassals are going to revolt. They
I
already.
feel like
did.
you need 3 other monitors to play this game with like other like windows on them.
I don't think so. I mean, the bad part about the game is the UI is it's good looking, but it's a little clumsy.
It's very busy.
Yeah, there's a lot
There's a
going
lot
on.
to see.
But like once you spend I probably would say that it took me about 10 hours, 5 hours of watching videos and 5 hours of playing to feel confident in playing it. So that's your learning curve, 10 hours.
Well, thanks for showing this off. I definitely saw this on Steam. Was very curious to know what it is, and now I do.
Sure. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye, Dave.